So what if the world as you know it is ending? That's the view of mathematician Eric Weinstein. And let me tell you, his vision for our future is stark. And honestly, it's pretty terrifying. We're going to break down his entire argument, from global collapse all the way to a hidden conspiracy that he believes is holding all of humanity back. Yeah, he really doesn't mince words, does he? This is Weinstein's central claim, that the entire global structure, everything built after the Second World War, is just coming apart at the seams. It's a massive, massive statement. So let's dig into why he thinks this is happening.
And that really is the core question, right? What is he actually seeing? What evidence does he point to? And maybe most importantly, what does he think is coming next? Let's unpack his argument, starting with the signals he sees of this collapse.
Okay, so Weinstein argues that the first signs are already all over the headlines. He sees these crystal-clear signals that the old rules just don't apply anymore. For him, this isn't some far-off prediction. No, this is happening right now in front of our eyes.
The evidence he points to is pretty visceral. I mean, just think about it. Hypersonic missiles hitting major cities. That was pure science fiction just a few years ago. You've got drone warfare being streamed in first person like a video game on Telegram. He argues these aren't just isolated events, they're symptoms that all the old safeguards and alliances are visibly fraying.
And this leads to a really crucial point he makes. Weinstein believes the last 70 or so years of relative peace and stability were never, ever normal. He calls it an artificially stagnant bubble, an anomaly that was propped up by that post-war order. And in his view, that bubble is bursting, and we are returning to a much more chaotic, much more unpredictable state of the world.
But here's the thing. This collapse, it isn't the root cause. It's just a symptom. Weinstein argues that this violent awakening is actually the result of a much, much deeper problem, a hidden stagnation that has secretly defined our world for half a century.
You know, we're always told we live in this era of dizzying, rocket-fueled change. But Weinstein says that's just a distraction. He claims that in reality, since about 1973, fundamental progress has been moving at a turtle's pace.
This is his famous thought experiment, and it is a really powerful one. Just try it. Go into any room and mentally subtract the screens, your phone, your TV, your computer. How would you know you aren't in 1973? The cars are pretty similar, the houses, the energy sources, they're all remarkably the same. He argues that almost all our progress has been in computation, while the actual physical world has pretty much stood still.
And look, this isn't just about us wanting flying cars. The stagnation that truly worries Weinstein is in fundamental physics. He believes this is the one and only field that can unlock truly world-changing technologies, the kind that can completely alter the global balance of power. And it's right there, he says, where progress has mysteriously just stopped. So, why did it stop?
Okay, you're going to want to strap in for this because this is where the theory gets really, really provocative. Weinstein doesn't think this stagnation is some kind of accident. He alleges it's the result of a deliberate, hidden policy to keep humanity from becoming too powerful too quickly.
His claim is absolutely explosive, that this isn't an accident, but active, deliberate suppression. The theory goes that after the complete shock of the atomic bomb, a quiet decision was made at the very highest levels that, you know what, humanity simply cannot be trusted with another leap forward of that magnitude.
The mechanism he points to for this is a legal doctrine called restricted data. And Weinstein's interpretation of it is chilling. It means certain scientific ideas can be born secret. Imagine you're a physicist. If you have a breakthrough that has potential nuclear applications, the very act of writing it down, even on a napkin in your own house, could be considered a capital offense.
So who does he point the finger at? Well, it's not one single group, but a whole network. The national security state, the intelligence agencies, all working together in what he calls a system of managed reality. Kind of like the Truman Show, but designed to keep scientific progress within safe, predictable, and controllable boundaries.
And this is where the story takes a very, very strange turn. Weinstein claims that Jeffrey Epstein we all know from the headlines is not the full picture, not even close. He says the whole disgraced financier story was just a cover for something else entirely.
Weinstein literally describes Epstein as a construct, an intelligence asset.
He alleges that Epstein's real job was to use his immense wealth and connections to monitor the world of elite science. By funding Nobel laureates and hosting these high-level conferences on topics like gravity, he was essentially a periscope for the security state, watching for any dangerous breakthroughs on the horizon. It's a truly bizarre and disturbing piece of this whole puzzle.
So all of this leads to Weinstein's staggering conclusion. If the world order is collapsing, and if progress is being deliberately suppressed, what's the answer? He argues you can't fix the system from within. The only way out is literally out.
So what does this one signify? One planet, one atmosphere, one single basket for all of humanity's eggs. Weinstein, a lot like Elon Musk, believes that staying on a single planet is an existential risk we just can't afford to take anymore. His escape plan has two core steps. First, it's a huge psychological shift. We have to accept that Earth is not our permanent home. And second, a scientific one. We need a revolution in physics to build the technology to actually leave. He's very clear that just engineering better rockets with our current science isn't going to cut it.
He frames our situation with this incredibly powerful metaphor. Earth is our womb. It's where we were born, it's what nurtured us, but it's not where we're meant to stay forever. Sooner or later, he says, humanity has to grow up and move out.
So what might that new physics even look like? Well, Weinstein's own theoretical work proposes a radical new picture of the universe, with 14 dimensions built out of the 4 that we already know. A universe where the one-way arrow of time might not even be a fundamental rule. I mean, this could open up possibilities we can barely even imagine.
So this is where we end up. It is a heavy, heavy set of ideas. The idea that our world order is collapsing, that progress has been deliberately stalled by some secret network, and that our only long-term hope for survival lies in a scientific